Hello everyone, George DeSantis here. This is not the regular weekly look at the market. This is just a special video I'm making here, and I'll explain why and wherefore as we go along. But first, bring up the disclaimer. Realize that it's not an attempt to give any particular person advice because I couldn't possibly do that. First of all, I'm a psychologist, not an investment advisor, but I do this for my own purposes and share it mostly with my family and friends and put it as a video on YouTube so you can take a look if you wish. But do your own research and make your own decisions, of course. Um, well, let me explain. First of all, I have a watch list that I started back in 2018, and I kept adding to it from various sources like IBD, etc. Excuse me. So yesterday I decided to just go down the list and see what these particular stocks, ETFs, bonds, bond funds, etc. look like. And what I'll do is I identify some of them that meet certain criteria. First of all, that they have a nice uptrend here on the daily chart. The 4 is above the 9, 9 above 30. You can see that MACD is trending up. This is the kind of chart I'm looking for. Williams percent R is above the minus 50 line, and I'm going to have to keep erasing these as they pop up, and the formula is usually above the 4% line. So this is the tip, the Barclays Tips Bond Fund. And you could see that it's been trending up. Another criterion is that it must be above the cloud. Okay, so that's what this is at, above the cloud and meeting these other criteria here. So let's look at a few of them. This is tip. I'm not saying that you go rush out and buy any of these. I'm just giving you a list that you can work from, see if you're interested in any of them. And you can trade them or hold them for a little longer, whatever. So that's tip. Let's take a look at uh, Kroger. I think Kroger was one. Above the cloud, it's back. It's down today, but it was up on great volume here yesterday. And you can see that these criteria are met too, but it became overbought. I think Warren Buffett just took a big position in Kroger. In any case, it hit the 3 standard deviation line, and now it's consolidating that gain here. Let's take a look at some. And here's BBN, which is the BlackRock Taxable Municipal Bond Trust, and you can see that it's trending up. Nice big green candle here, and it meets these criteria, and it's above the cloud. Here's the Barclays 20-year Treasury Bond Fund. And you can see again, meets that criteria, some of these criteria that I talked about. And all here, above the cloud, and a nice uptrend. Now, I'm not saying that these trends will continue. I don't know how long they'll continue, but I'm just showing these possibilities to you, okay? Here's an ETF, TMF, which is a Direxion leveraged 3 times, so very risky, but it's a 20-year Treasury bill. And you can see that pattern again. All of these criteria are met, and it's above the cloud. Overbought at this time because it's hitting the 3 standard deviation line here, Bollinger Band. I own this one, by the way. And here's good old Etsy. Of course, Etsy was in a trading range for a long time, and it just started moving up again. But it meets these criteria. It's trending up. MACD is above the line, the zero line, and meets these, and it's above the cloud. So here's another. That's another. Here's our friend Tesla. I don't own it right now. I made a lot of money on it in this area here. However, I thought you might want to see what it looks like right now. I'd wait. I expect this thing to go up eventually, but it's suffering the same fate as all of the other stocks, many other stocks in the market, because it's caught the same virus. uh, Here's Zoom. I used to own Zoom a long time ago, but I sold it. Don't own it now. But this is one of those that is trending up, pulling back today quite a bit, $15 at this time. But it's one of those that meets these criteria, the criteria I'm talking about, and it's above the cloud. So maybe a good opportunity to buy it somewhere in here. Take a look. Here's Teladoc. I own this one. I bought some shares earlier in the week. Um, and you can see that it became overbought, hit the 3 standard deviation line, Bollinger line, and then came back to the buy zone here, what Alex calls consensus of value, and then it rallied again. So it's becoming a little more overbought now, but I still own it, have a little gain in it, and I'm not going to sell it right now. Here's InMode. You know, I like the concept, I like the company, but I don't like the stock right now. Look at this waterfall here, you know. Actually, it seemed to be finding some support at this level here, but I don't own it right now. I had to sell it when it hit my criteria here, when the 4 crossed below the 9. So anyway, I'll keep an eye on it. Here's the chart of Moderna. That is one of those companies that's working on the virus, I believe, on a vaccine for the virus. It became very overbought. You could see it broke through the 3 standard deviation line, Bollinger Band, and pulled back. And there was some buying since then. So you might want, you see it's above the cloud. So it's interesting. Big volume here. I don't know. I don't own it. Let's look at Microsoft. You could see that once we had this nice run up here from October, I owned it most of that time, and then it started breaking down. Notice that when the 4 crossed below the 9, it was time to move on, time to sell. That's a good sell criteria. Look at what happens after that. And now we're finding overhead resistance, you see. Every time it bumps its heads up against this resistance here, like here, it's going to find some resistance again. Let's take a look at Apple. Here's Apple. You can see that Apple is below the cloud, first of all, below the cloud, not a good sign. And you can see that the same thing happened here around the same time. When Microsoft broke down, Apple broke down, I got rid of both of them. And here we go, downfall, waterfall. Now it's rallying a bit, but it's finding resistance at the 30 weighted moving average. It moved up here and then it started coming down again. Of course, we have the virus to deal with, and industry is being affected by it one way or the other. So, time to wait. Wait until we see the white of their eyes. You know, um, Buffett says that in trading and investing, you don't have, it's not like baseball. We don't have to swing. They don't count balls and strikes. So we have to wait. We should wait until we see what he calls the fat pitch. In other words, the baseball is looking as big as a watermelon. And then you swing. You don't have to swing. Don't have to buy anything. So I'm just showing you a list here of things to keep in mind. I'm continuing to look at some of the ones that we are not going to buy right now, of course, because you could see it's way below the cloud. That's Facebook. Same thing happened here with Facebook. 4 below the 9, boom, out of favor. And look at the MACD and everything else breaking down. So I just want to look at some more familiar stocks and see where they are. Here's Salesforce, below the cloud. We don't want to be buying unless it's above the cloud. Look at this, breakdown ahead, same thing, same area, right? Boom, waterfall. So these are ones that we want to keep on our list, but we don't want to be buying them here. Here's another familiar stock, Netflix. You can see that it's above the cloud, but it broke down here and it's now in a trading range. So, and look at these criteria here. You see, the Williams percentile dropped below the -50 line, no good. And the same thing is true of the sum of the rate of change indicator. So we just want to keep an eye on it. We don't want to be buying it here. I don't want to be buying it here. There's an ETF that I love, but we got to go with what we see, we trade what we see, and we see that break down, as we saw with so many other stocks. And it's now below the cloud. You can see that. So if you still own it, it may not be a good time to sell it. but you're going to find some resistance overhead here. Okay, guys, I just wanted to show you a few of these. It's tough. It's tough going here. All I own right now is some shares of Teladoc and TMF, which is the 20-year Treasury bill leverage ETF. But it's leveraged, so it's very risky. I'm not suggesting that it's suitable for everyone. I'm also doing some day trading with the Direxion ETFs. It's very difficult, but I'm doing okay with it. That's a TNA, TCA, the inverse ETFs as well, you know, TQQQ, SQQQ, etc. Hey, listen, we'll try and do the look at the market on this weekend, and my voice is a lot better, but it's not there yet. Not perfect. Have a good day. Let's hope that this virus doesn't turn out to be as bad as so many people are predicting.